Hi guys, LegendaryWraith here, and welcome to this episode where we'll be looking at the Vickers Medium Mark III tank, which is a Tier 3 British medium tank. The Vickers Medium Mark III is also known as the Medium 3, and in this episode we will go over the Medium 3's strengths, weaknesses and loadouts, as always followed by a demonstration of its usage on the battlefield. Well, what can be said about the Medium 3 tank? Either you love it or you hate it. It depends how you play, because this tank is not very maneuverable. It has an average speed and a really bad acceleration. And as you can see, it's a really long tank and it has a pretty large silhouette. And that coupled with the laughable armor on this tank, 9mm on the side, 9mm to the back of the hull, 14mm to the front of the hull, and 14mm all around on the turret. And this is for a tier 3 tank. This is weak even at tier 2. So this means that any tank that hits you, even with high explosive, will penetrate you. And that of course also includes the Cruiser Mark II, the Alecto, the Valentine AT and the Hetzer, which are all known for bringing their high explosive cannons along with them. The positive sides for this tank, or the strengths, is definitely its cannon. You start out with the OQF 3-pounder gun Mark II, 20 rounds a minute, 43 penetration, 50 damage, an aim time of a little more than 2 seconds, and an accuracy of 0.4 for your standard AP shells. It's not great, but it's not bad at all. What you want to go for is this package here, which has the quickfire 2-pounder Mark 9 cannon. And as you can see here, 28 rounds a minute, 64mm of penetration, 45 damage. Admittedly, this is not great, but it's the only weak point for this cannon. An aim time of 1.7 seconds and an accuracy of 0.36. So this is basically a very quick firing, quick aiming, pretty accurate cannon. And as I said, the only downside is not a lot of damage. Only 45 damage for its alpha. So that type of cannon, coupled with a large but weak hull, makes this tank pretty much ideal for only one role, which is to stay at the back, hide behind cover, peek out, fire off a shot or two, and go back into cover before the enemy can put his sights on you. So if you came from Russian medium tanks and you're used to a medium tank being a brawler, you will be very disappointed with this tank if you try to play it that way. You are not a brawler, you are not a fighter, you are not a flanker. You need to stay at the back, try not to get spotted, because if you get spotted and hit by any tank, be it artillery, light tank, a medium flanker or anything, you will die, and you will die quickly. That brings us to the equipment part here. Of course, I can recommend the camouflage net and the binocs, which will benefit you a lot in your sniping role. For a third piece of equipment, well, you can go for pretty much any of the complex equipments here. But do remember, of course, that your aim time and your load time is rather quick already, so the medium caliber gun rammer and the enhanced gunling drive will not have such a big effect on you. The improved ventilation class 2, which benefits all of your stats by 5%, is pretty much the one I would recommend for you. But do remember though that these complex equipments cost you 10 gold to remove from your tank. Unless of course you sell it with the tank. In that case you only get half your silver back. Regarding supplies, well, I wouldn't bother too much with the high explosive shells. Maybe bring a couple of APCR shells if you want that. I personally never felt the need for it. And regarding consumables, well, you can take either a repair kit, first aid kit, or a manual fire extinguisher. But if you're spotted and you take 1 or 2 shots, you are pretty much already dead in this tank. So I haven't personally bothered with it. Just to sum it up, this tank is a sniping peekaboo tank. Hide behind a rock, peek out, fire off a shot or 2, go back into cover. And now it's time to see how this tank does on the battlefield. And here we are today on Airfield War Team Destruction. In this match, it's an all tier 3 match, except for of course a single tank on each team, which is a tier 2 tank. And as you may have already noted, there are quite a couple of tanks on each team, which are medium 3 tanks. So this should be interesting. And of course, no artillery pieces, which is really nice for the medium 3 tanks, as they are of course big and not very quick tanks, with very bad armor. So really nice targets for artillery pieces usually. But as I said, none of those today. So I move up here to a nice little sniping location I like to use on this map if I'm playing a sniping kind of tank. This rock right here on the right side is really nice to pop in and out of if the enemy comes over the crest right here or the crest over there. But it doesn't seem to be any enemies moving up over that side. Maybe they're pretty much all of them to the north side of the map. Let's see, that's a Panzer 38 tank up there. Let's see if we can move up here and put a couple of shots into him. And there we go, the Panzer 38. One shot, 47 damage. Second shot, 41 damage. Valentine AT, 39 damage. I want to take him out because he is more dangerous to me. He has a stronger cannon. Ow. There he takes out about 80 damage or 80 health from me. Let's see, what can we do about him? He's at half health. Yes, 42 damage. Maybe one more shot. Missed that. And he's behind that rock. Maybe we can hit that Panzer 38 in the meantime. Yes, 44 damage. 46 damage. Oh, and there's the Valentine AT, and he spotted me. What to do? Can we... Oh, he's behind a rock over there now. Let's see, can we hit the Panzer 38? See, and as you can see here, the big downside of this tank is it's... Oh, there we go. The Valentine AT is taking out. As I said before, this big, massive hull is a big con for this tank, especially with this weak armor. You're easy to spot, easy to hit, and very easy to penetrate. And that is, of course, the very big weakness. And here we... See, and that exemplifies what you need to do with this tank. Pop in and out of cover, because the enemy will keep shooting at the last known location. And use that to your advantage, because that will keep them distracted from your other teammates in the meantime. So let's see. Oh, and there is a tank down here. Is it a... Yes, it is a fellow medium 3 tank. Of course, I just need to hit it. And here it exemplifies the big con for this tank. This extremely large silhouette, as you can see. Easy to hit, even over a wall. Of course, if you can hit it. Maybe not the best example right there. And here we go. Oh yes. That long hull there stuck out at the back. I can even manage to spot him over the wall, even though he's trying to hug it. One last shot. Trying to run away. Second kill there. Let's see, that's only a single medium 3 tank left. Well, might as well just move up there, see if we can do something about him. And as I hope you've learned from this video, you can see here, this tank needs to move in and out of cover, and not until the very last end of the match move out to sweep up the last enemies. And there we go, a nice win on this match in just under 5 minutes. And here we are at the post-game stats. 559 base experience, 2 kills, and admittedly only a mastery badge class 3. 535 damage and a 4th place on the winning team. As I said before, admittedly not a great match, but a really solid match with a tank that a lot of players call out as a extremely bad tank. So I hope you got a pointer or two from this video on how to play this tank now. It's been really great making this episode for you guys. I hope you found it useful. Please let me know in the comments below. You can check out some of my other episodes on my YouTube channel. If you would like to see more videos like this, please don't hesitate to hit the like and the subscribe buttons. Thank you for watching and stay legendary.